In this tower here, one of the watchtowers. This thing is 12th century Stalik. It's the name of the castle. So this is the hallway up to my room. I'm glad I have just a rucksack, not some wide luggage, because this would be tough getting up here. About 3/4 of the way up the tower. And I have a single room right here. And that's the door. This is my castle room. It's a one-person room. It's got a bed. It gives you sheets and blankets and all that, but I like to use my sleeping bag. It's got a sink inside the room. It has an outside bathroom that you got to go outside to get in, but it is private. I'm not sharing it with anybody. It's got electricity. It's got a nice table to sit down and write letters to loved ones, and it's got a vanity. So it's got everything a hiker would need. I think I spent $50, and it was included a nice dinner with wine and some dessert, a breakfast in the morning, and a takeout carry sack for lunch. So pretty good deal. There's the town of Bacharach, where the castle is. It's up on top of the town. So that's where I stayed last night. Burg Stalik, 12th century castle with 141 rooms that's been converted into a hostel run by the Jugendherberge. That's pretty cool. Stayed up in the tower and in the town of Bacharach, which is my starting point. And this is the RheinBurgenWeg. We're going right by the city tower and on up over onto the rim and looking down at the Rhine. This is our way markers for the RheinBurgenWeg on the west side of the Rhine. It's well marked. It's pretty hard to get lost. Don't expect to see anybody today. Usually the day starts out with a strong climb up into the rim, like this right here, and then you walk along the rim till you get tired. And then you come down to the next village and find a place to stay. It's very easy to find something for cheap accommodations on booking.com or whatever. But that's it. I don't expect to see anybody except old men walking their dogs in their lederhosen. So we'll see you down at RheinBurgenWeg. Oh, we're sharing the path with some Democrats. And we also with some people on the Camino, though the Camino's, it's got to be 800 miles from here. We're not in Spain. But you know, the Camino, there is no the Camino. It's an infinite number of starting points, all ending in the same place in Santiago in Spain. So yeah, you see these a lot on here, the Camino markers. So this is the path. I'm headed to Oberwiesel, having spent the night in Bacharach. I'm going to Oberwiesel for lunch, and then I'm going to go on to St. Goa across the river from my dad's house where he grew up, and my grandmother passed away in 1957. So it's gonna be a good day. Los Gates. So it's about 45 degrees. Look, for the next 10 days it looks like it's gonna be between 40 and 55. It's must be like this next 3 or 4 days. I'm walking through the wine fields right now. That's why the Riesling's so damn good here. Got all these grapevines. It's got to be good. So currently on some asphalt. Not my favorite surface, but you know, if it keeps it up, I'll take off the shoes and go barefoot on it. So I think we get back on the path up here in a little ways. So if you're on a cruise ship, Viking or Amway or whatever, coming down the Rhine right now, and you're going south, on your right side, look up on the rim and wave at me. I do have a set of binoculars. I could probably see you waving, so give me a hoot. I've seen a couple cruise ships go by. I gotta say, it's more fun up on the rim. I think that's Kaub over on the other side. I can see the Rheinsteig way up on the top there. That's the other path on the other side that goes for, about 190 miles from Wiesbaden to Bonn. I'll be coming down that in a couple days coming back the other way. But pretty cool. Having a great time. So this is the town of Kaub. That's on the other side. That little castle down there, the story is that back in the Middle Ages, a little troll lived in that castle, and he had a steel or iron chain stretched across the channel for the Rhine. And when you came down, he would stop you because the chain was across the Rhine. You couldn't get by unless he let you through, so he would charge you money to go by. That was back in the feudal days. It's kind of like you know, the New Jersey Turnpike or Pennsylvania Turnpike. Same concept. So that's it, Kaub. So I'm near Kaub on the Rhine, heading north. I'm actually hiking the whole thing from Bacharach to Bonn, turning around in Bonn, going across the other side of the Rhine, and then coming down to Rheinsteig, which is a path on the other side. All total, it should be about 320 miles. It's pretty easy walking or hiking compared to, you know, the Appalachian Trail. I got a warm shower every night, a warm bed, a nice breakfast in the morning, and I can stop along the way, go down off the rim and into a town and get a nice coffee and a croissant if I want. So it's like a vacation from the Appalachian Trail. It's good to be back on the trail again. I'll be out here for 3 weeks, so los geht's. So this is what a good part of the RheinBurgenWeg looks like. We're going through farmers' fields. A lot of horses grazing out here. I haven't seen any cows yet. Germans do love their cows. But it's, as you can see, it's kind of a dark and dreary day. It's probably about 45 degrees. I'm about an hour out of Oberwesel. I'm going to stop there and get a coffee and a croissant, or some other German delectable. And then I'm going on to St. Croix. So let's go. Well, rule, the German trails are really well marked. You even get some for the Camino. They're all over the place. Germans really love the Camino in Spain. So well marked. A lot of information on the side. The thing about the markers, if it's a critical junction where it could be unclear which way to turn, they always put in Germany a conformational way marker about 100 meters after the turn. So if you make a turn and you don't see a way marker within 100 meters, you know you've gone the wrong way, you should go back. The route is available. It's not on Gut app, so I guess that's now called Far Out. They changed the name of the app, but it's not on Gut hooks. It is on all trails, and you can download each individual section or stage of the hike, or you can download the whole thing. Anyways, it's pretty accurate. You can download it. It's offline, doesn't drain your battery. So it's just like Gut hooks without all the comments in that. There are comments in some of the trails, but it's pretty hard to get lost. I'm trying my hardest to get lost, but I haven't been able to do it. So I got to Germany by flying Delta Airlines. It only cost me $6.20 round trip. That's pretty much in line with my past trips to either Spain or Germany. I flew into Frankfurt. Took the free yellow shuttle bus from the international terminal to Terminal T1 at the airport. And there's a huge train station there where you can pick up intercity and regional trains. So there's a tourist center there. They speak good English and German. I'm trying to make by with just my German. It's working out so far. But anyways, I bought a ticket to Bacharach. My starting point for I think it was $10 or $11. I used credit cards all the way, including at the castle overnight. So it's working pretty good so far. I've only booked my first night and my last nights on my trip. I'm a little leery about weekends because I know Germans come out on the weekends, even in November, to hike. So I think I'm probably going to book my Friday and Saturday night stays up and down the hike. I use Booking.com mostly, and it works out great. They even have the hostels on Booking.com in Europe. So the only thing they don't have is the Herbergers, the German hostels with the German Jugendherberger Club. But they have a website you can get on, and you can book Stalik, the castle I stayed in last night, or other. Getting pretty close to Oberwesel, and lunchtime. It's 11:30, so I'm making pretty good time. I'm averaging about 2.5–3 miles an hour. Like I say, there's not a lot of climbing here. You climb up in the morning, and then you hike along the rim the entire afternoon. So it's pretty easy. There's some pavement like here. I must say the other side of the Rhine, the Rheinsteig, is far more scenic. As you can see over there, it's higher up, so you got a better view, and it's more rustic. There's not as much concrete to walk on. So, but we'll see. This could get better. Only seen one other group of hikers so far, and they were going the other way. It was a group of 6 hikers over the age of 70. They had backpack on, so I asked them where they were going, and they said they're going to the Burg Stalik, the same castle I stayed in last night. So they asked me how it was. I said, well, it's like staying at Hogwarts in the Harry Potter movie. So I think I had to laugh out of that. I said, you know, the food's not bad, so wine's even better. So have a good time. So, day's picking up. I think I actually see some sunshine now. It's looking promising. Yeah, we're going out through the suburbs of Oberwesel. I'm going to soon be outside of the city, and I like this kind of trail better. It's a little easier on the feet. Leaves are about half and half on the tree and on the ground, so it's definitely fall. So let's get. Well, we got some kind of fortress. This looks like it go all the way back to Roman times. I don't know. There's a church in the middle. This is the path here. I hesitate to call it a castle because it doesn't really look like a castle. I've already gone by 3 castles today. I've gone by them, through them, or over them, and that's pretty cool. Like I said before, there's 46 castles between these two trails on both sides of the Rhine. So I'm going to read this piece here and see where this is from. This dates back to the Middle Ages. It was built to keep the damn French out. This has always been a disputed area between Germany and France. Residents along here always spoke both languages. I know my dad grew up being fluent in German and French. So it looks like this is not as old as I thought, but boy, it's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna stop and go in. Still walking on the other side of Oberwesel. A lot of traffic on the Rhine. Mostly cargo ships. Haven't seen 1 or 2 cruise ships, Viking, so forth, but here's where I am. That's the road. We're just going along the Rhine to St. Croix. So, los geht's! The RheinBurgenWeg got a little more AT-like, a little narrower, a little steeper, and yeah, we got a big old freighter going by. Lots of stuff from China. Hey, we're gonna be doing some climbing here. This is AT-like. There is no plan B, so you gotta go up that sucker. I love this stuff. We're back in the presidentials. Holy crap. Well, this is the first view of my father's hometown. Over there in the far distance, that's Sankershausen. It's where my dad grew up until he was 21 and came to America. And there's the Lorelei, the big old rock. My dad's house is just behind the Lorelei. In fact, I almost bought his house 3 years ago. If I'd have been there 2 or 3 days earlier, I would have bought it. But somebody owns a couple of hotels here in the area. Ended up buying it. It's the city of St. Croix across the river. There's a ferry that goes between the 2 towns. But I'm going to be on the other side in 10 days or so, walking on the Rheinsteig. So I'm going to stay on this side tonight. Pretty exciting. Here comes the train. Hey, there's a train on each side. I mean, tell me this isn't just right out of your Christmas train collection. It's what it looks like. So I'm in home, so this is good. I noticed last kilometer or so, there's more people out walking the dogs on the trail. Nobody's in lederhosen. I've seen that in the past, walking around, walking on the Rhine. Not sure where the path goes here. I guess it goes down here. Again, that's my dad's hometown in the background there, Sankershausen. And yeah, very emotional moment here. This is cool. That's for you, Dad, wherever you are. Dad, visiting hours in heaven. I'll be sharing this with you. Okay, let's get on down this here trail. Back a while ago, I encountered some stuff I probably shouldn't have been by myself. There were some rock climbing steps carved into the rock, and some cable rope. I had to pull myself up. I noticed over the years of hiking in Germany, Germans are really into this. In this case, my back was pretty much parallel to the ground for about 20 feet, and I was pulling myself up. And it was pretty slippery because it's been raining here for the last 3 or 4 days, and the leaves are wet and whatnot. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I made it. By the way, there is a plan B in all these dangerous sections, and the Germans are pretty good about that, giving the ladies a plan B to go around, or the guys, the old guys, not young guys like me. We like to do tough stuff, so pretty cool. This is the Germans' idea of a parking or camping place. Notice there's no tents here. They're all RVs. You can pitch a tent here, and I was going to bring a tent and camp here in a couple other places, but I looked it up and it's going to cost me 25 euros a night just for a piece of earth. So I said, well, for 5 to 10 euros more, you can get a nice hotel room with a bath and a shower. So I changed my mind, but this is it. Got a good view of the Lorelei, I gotta say. That's the Rheinfeld's castle in the distance. Across the river, there's three more castles. You just can't get them away from it. It's like churches on the community. That's my dad's house on the other side of the Rhine. Looks the same. I'm going to be there in about 10 days. I might try to get inside again. Maybe the lady, I can sweet talk her. The lady that bought it away from me. Again, if I'd have been there 3 days earlier, I'm pretty sure I would have bought it and turned it into a hostel for hikers on the Rheinsteig. Cats right there, Castle Cats. There's another one around the corner up there called Mouse. I heard thousands and thousands of stories from my dad, because that was his playground when he grew up. He used to hang out up there in that castle. He also used to tell me that he'd, when he wanted to go down to the big town of Rudesheim, which is this way, he would swim across and find a freighter that was overloaded, hanging low in the water, swim out to it. The guys on deck would pull him on board. He'd get on board and then ride the ferry, or ride the freighter down to Rudesheim and spend the day, and then reverse that on the way back. I used to think that was a bunch of baloney, but now my dad was a lot like me. I can believe it. I would do that. So, here's to my dad. So I made it 15 miles today from Bacharach to St. Croix, with a little downtime in Oberwesel on the way. It's a great day. It was a little chilly. It was a little 40s, maybe. I think it started out 35 or something like that. But I was warm. I was dry. After the Appalachian Trail and all the way we got there, I went out and invested in all the best rain gear I could find, including the little Z-Pax umbrella that I saw Pinot having, and thought, geez, totally envious of this device. So I bought one, tried it out a couple times in the rain, and it works. So I brought it along with me, and I'm hoping to use it. So, good day. Be out there tomorrow. I think I'm going to, I can't remember where I'm going tomorrow. I think it's only 11 miles. Be an easy day, but it's supposed to be drop down gorgeous, the views on this side. So we'll see you in the morning.